There we are on the sixth myth. DPDP applies only to customer data. Interesting. Is it so? Actually not. Criteria of DPDP application is different, not your relationship with the individual. Welcome to my YouTube channel. We have been discussing various aspects of privacy. It's almost 2 years now. It would be like another 3 months, it would be 2 years. And today we are going to talk about a myth that DPDP applies only for customer data. People believe it's only for customer data, focused on marketing activities. Why? Whenever we talk of delivering service, whenever we talk of taking care of, whenever we talk of being careful with, we only look at the customer side because the revenue is coming from there, because the brand reputation is coming from there. Is it only the customer side where it is? No. Your revenue indirectly, your brand is coming from other directions also. People believe that HR is purely internal function. No. Yes. Maybe. Because it really depends. If your staff is not happy with the HR facilities they are getting, it would impact the external functions sooner or later. Vendors work only internally with us, yes, but if you get good pricing and good reputation, vendors also matter. And I am a case study of a vendor who lost his money at two large corporate houses in Mumbai. Wherever I sit, I do talk about them. Is it helping them build their brand reputation? No. So your brand reputation is not left on your customers only. The only difference in my case would be that I'm too small a person for the MD of one of them and the chairman of the other one to even be bothered about. But their brand name is being talked about. Interestingly, my brother refused to go to one of those hospitals for his treatments, despite that hospital being called number 2 hospital in the country, in the city for CKDs. Finance is critical, so you want to keep it secret. Well, no one is asking you to share bank details or bank transactions. Privacy is beyond that. So why people believe, as we discussed, privacy discussions, brand, trust, these discussions focus on customers only. Consent banners are assumably for customers only. Well, when you create a banner and someone comes to your website, how does your website know it is only for customer and pops up? No, it pops up for any visitor. It's not merely meant only for customers. People believe in the legacy beliefs about privacy. People believe in the legacy beliefs about taking care of customer. बाकी सब तो हो जाएगा. It's not true. You have to take care of everything. What does DPDP cover? Very simple definition. Personal information of an identifiable individual available in digital format. That's it. No ambiguity. Right? Picked up manually, digitized, no ambiguity. Employees, do you take digital information? A lot of it. DPDP has given a small leeway here, which people are believing that it's more like saying that DPDP is not for employees. No, the leeway is that for certain basic employment contract factors, you don't need a consent. For example, for transferring salary, you don't need a consent. I personally feel you take that consent in any case. Now, the only difference is that now we are talking of privacy. So it does not mean that because I don't need a reconsent at the time of salary transfer, it happens, but the employer tells on the appointment letter that I need your banking information so that when you deliver me these services, I transfer you this much of money on this date. Fine. And the candidate signs, yes, I accept the terms, here are my banking details. That's a consent. Right? That's an employment contract or an employment consent which says to furnish the parameters of this contract, I'll be paid, compensated. That happens in every contract. And to get compensated, I need to share my banking details and my income details and my investment details and my provident fund details. It's a consent, right? So while yes, you don't need a separate consent that I will be deducting your provident fund. It's an employment contract. Government says you have to deduct it. Yes, you have to. There are no ambiguity on all those. So what I'm trying to say is that the factor there also is that you don't need to take consents again and again. does not mean that you're allowed to play around with private information of your, or personal information for that matter, of your employees, of the job applicants, of your vendors and partners, of your customers. No, you cannot. You cannot, right? Your organization's users, associations members, any relationship. Personal information of a living identifiable individual has to be taken care of. That is what privacy is. That is what DPDP is. HR has to take care of resumes, payroll, attendance, even of the candidates who get rejected. You cannot just play around with their resumes. Finance details, bank details, PAN number. Finance has that, has to have that. IT has access logs. Logs have your personal information, user IDs. Procurement gets into vendor contracts. Operations have visitor logs. You take their surveillance image also. If that image goes out somewhere and I see that image that I went to that organization and they took my image and this photograph is circulating here, would that add to reputation of that company? No. This myth is dangerous. You become casual. You don't take care of HR data. You share my banking information. You share my investment information with everyone. You share my health information. It's a problem. You cannot do compliance selectively. It has to be done properly. Higher the breaches, higher is the risk, higher is the impact, because you have become casual with personal information. So key takeaways: DPDP applies to all personal information of a identifiable individual of India or getting service in India. Not limited to customers, it is not limited to any department, it is not limited to any scope. Idea is personal information in digital format. Compliance must be organization wide, compliance cannot be individual wide. So that's about DPDP, how it applies to which kind of data, ignoring the myth that it is only for customer data. More information on privacy on my Udemy courses, a complete Kindle book trying to explain privacy in short form, easier format. Log in, subscribe to them, subscribe to this channel as well if you want to continue to get daily updates on privacy. Thank you.